Hi! You've probably seen all over the internet of people making these funny expressive faces in VR. Like this, that, whatever this is. A lot of these models have face tracking built in, such as the Mayu by Azuki or Thingy by me. Hi! Most of the time, custom DLCs are made by the community to add that capability. But what happens if it's a niche model that doesn't have that support, or a custom model that you have for yourself? Commissions are open for this sort of thing. Link in the description. A word of advice: Blender knowledge is required to create face tracking from scratch. Might be obvious to some, but some people may just be entering this field for the first time and aren't aware of this sort of thing. If you don't know your way around Blender just yet, I recommend Blender Guru's Donut tutorial. Otherwise, this video may not help you. It's also a simpler overview of my process and may not cover every edge case. So, for that reason, I made a written guide down below. I also have a Discord server if you want to ask questions to me directly. Ever wonder how you can do that for yourself? I'm Han, a professional 3D artist with a specialty for this kind of thing. And for those that are ready, let's get into it. First step is to make a new project and make sure everything from the scene is removed. Then, chuck in a model of your choice by going to File, Import, FBX. Here they are. Before we can get to actually making the shapes, the model should be as symmetrical as possible. Turn on X mirror mode up here, select everything with A, and move it around with G. The model should not have any stray vertices like this. If this happens, make sure you're selecting the basis shape key here, head to Mesh, and hit Snap to Symmetry. Make sure to turn off X mirror off when you're done. And that's looking much better! Time to make that face move. Now what blend shapes are we going to use? There's a few different standards you may have heard of, such as Vive's blend shapes called S-Ranipal, and the ones that VTubers typically use with iPhones, ARKit. Both of these are fantastic options for their use cases, but since I'm a VRChat player, like I assume most of you are, I'll be using the community's very own Unified Expressions, or UE for short. UE combines the best of all worlds and makes sure that the avatar is compatible with all hardware, including Quest Pro. I'll be using UE for this tutorial. To add a new blend shape, head to the Data tab and hit this plus icon on the screen. I use the first blend shape as a separator to keep things organized. Since I work in edit mode, I turn on this funky button up here, Proportional Editing, and keep it to connected vertices. When clicking vertices, you can press G to grab, R to rotate, and S to scale, X, Y, and Z to move it along each axis. Scroll up and down to control the influence. The first shape I'll be making is Eye Look Out Right, where the eye looks out on the right-hand side. Simple enough. Since VRChat handles the eyeball itself rotating for us, we just have to move the muscles around the eye. I usually pull the inner corners together and the outside apart, like this. Head here to duplicate and mirror it to the other side. This is going to be named Eye Look Out Left. To speed up the process, I usually make the opposite shape by setting the minimum strength to -1, dragging the slider to it, and making a new blend shape from Mix. Bam! Eye Look In Right. And Left. Eye Look Up has a similar approach. Now the eyes can look around. Neat. Eye closed right and left I usually take from the MMD shapes. They're usually split into right and left. Copy each of these, bring them down to the bottom, and name them accordingly. If down the line you'd like to combine each side together, like Nose Sneer, I turn up both right and left and I make a new shape from Mix out of it. For a lot of the shapes in this series, I'll only butt in when I need to. Feel free to copy what you see on screen. Let's bring up jaw open, mouth ape shape, and mouth closed. Duplicating jaw open at a weaker strength should help with mouth ape shape. For mouth closed, turn up mouth ape shape all the way, set jaw open to -1, and make a new shape from Mix out of it. You made it to the end of the list. Congrats, you're almost done. I'd highly recommend creating some corrective bun shapes to your model. They're basically just bun shapes to help other ones from clipping through each other. I make them for shapes like eye closed and eye squint, eye closed and brow down, and eye closed and brow in or up. New shape from mix with them combined with on one side, fix the clipping, set the originals to -1, this might look terrifying, and make a new shape from mix out of this, deleting the temporary shape. Should be done at this point. Export this to Unity and we can head to the last steps. In Unity, swap your model and your files out with the new one you made, and make sure that you add both VRC Fury and Jerry's face tracking templates to your project. Then head over to Packages, VRCFT Jerry's templates, Prefabs, and bring the last one onto your avatar. If you built your face tracking off of another standard, use one of these. Head to the SDK's Builder tab, Upload, and you're done. Congrats, you did it! You can now oogle at your friends, and when they ask,
nice face tracking. Who made it?
Thank you so much. I did.
If you found this useful, leave a like or a comment to show your support. If you have any questions, I'd again highly recommend you to join my Discord server. This was my first video on YouTube, and I appreciate you watching it to the end. If you'd like to see some more content of what I do, I'm on Blue Sky posting regularly and foster a community on Discord. I'll see you soon!